On today's episode, I'll be chatting about some knitted finished objects, new cast-ons, as well as a weaving project. Hey everyone, I'm Marina and this is Pineapple Knits. This is my channel dedicated to knitting, spinning, and weaving. You can connect with me on social media at Pineapple Yarn, and you can connect with me on my website at pineappleyarn.com. Thanks so much for joining me again this week. It is a cold and rainy day, which is completely opposite of the weather we've been having. It's actually been really dry here and warm and very pleasant, to be honest. So today is really cold and rainy, which that's winter weather here, so I am all snuggled up. I've got a couple of base layers on, which I don't know why I don't have a sweater on. It's just what I put on today. But I am wearing my Good Vibes shawl. This is a pattern by Nadia, Crétin, Léchenne, and I knitted in two of my colorways. This is I Heart Beach Glass, and the tonal is Pink Hibiscus, and this is just such a great shawl. It is a really wearable shape. It's a crescent shaped shawl, which I absolutely love. It's very long, as you can tell, but it is just has these beautiful waves. And so if you wanted, you could do the top part or the beginning part. I chose to do it in a variegated yarn just because I thought it would be fun, but you could do this in a tonal, and then you could do the wave section with variegated and maybe do these scallopy waves in using the tonal that you used up here. You could also do that. This is such a beautiful pattern. So fun, such a wearable shape, and you get to do a little bit of lace in here, as you can see. And then this section is all stocking, or it's all garter, and it has these really pretty eyelets. So that's what I'm wearing today, and I love this shawl so much. So it's nice and bright and cheerful for dark days. So that is what I'm wearing. I've also lit my Cozy Memories candle. I love this for the holidays, and I've been burning it for the past, I don't even know how many episodes. I'm still burning it. It smells so good. So I am sorry I missed last week. It has just been crazy this December. I guess I uploaded an episode Thanksgiving weekend. That was 2 weeks ago. And so I skipped last week. Just after the holiday and trying to fit everything in, it just didn't work out. So I'm sorry I missed you, but it just means that I have more to share this week. So I do have a finished object. I finished the Homebody Sweater from Heidi Kirrmaier. This was a pattern, I made this for my daughter out of Scheepjes wool, or it wasn't wool at all actually, it's Scheepjes yarn. And it is a cotton and acrylic blend, and so this is just a really bulky, it's a really soft yarn, and my daughter's been wearing this a ton. It's a really cute sweater actually, but it's just a very simple knit. I've been talking about it for several weeks, so I don't want to go into too many details about it, but this is just, it turned out so cute. Like I said, she's been wearing it a ton. It's been warm enough here where she hasn't really needed wool sweaters. You definitely could be wearing wool sweaters, but it's been warm enough where it's been nice having a nice bulky weight cotton sweater. It's so cute. I knit the 3rd size, and I just love the 2x2 rib on the bottom. And the neckline has this awesome 2x2 rib. The sleeves, the cuffs. So all in all, I don't have a lot to share with you because, to be honest, I think I've covered it a lot in past episodes. But this was just such a pretty sweater. It's so pretty. It looks great on her, and She's really enjoyed it. She's worn it quite a bit. And as you can tell, she's a lot, she's a lot bigger than me. The sleeves come to like here on my hand. So she is taller than me, bigger than me. She has surpassed me at this point. But anyway, I just wanted to share my progress on that. I also wanted to update you on the arm grafting, the armhole grafting. I'll go ahead and give you a close-up. So what I did is this was a departure from the pattern. I actually left the bottom of the armholes open and then just did a grafting stitch. So instead of picking those up and knitting the sleeve and the round, I'll go ahead and show that with to you. So I don't know if you can see that. It's not perfect, but what I did at the very end, this was all open, and I just cast on the number of stitches that were left right here, and then I just left it open. So when I went back around the sleeve, this is knit in the round, top down, I should mention. So normally what you do is you pick up those stitches and then just keep knitting in the round all the way down the sleeve. I just left this open and just kept knitting, and then just went back and grafted it, and I just think it made a really clean finish. So I learned this in one of my cocoa knit sweaters, the Molly sweater. This is how the arm was finished. I liked it, so I might keep doing that if I remember. Sometimes I knit out of habit, and I forget to use those new techniques or what have you. So that is the Homebody Sweater. I really like the pattern. It's just a very, very simple top-down, cozy, comfy sweater, and so glad to have that off the needles, to be honest, because it's a beautiful color, but I like colors like this, the brighter colors, and as beautiful as this color is, I was getting a little boring knitting, to be honest. So I'm glad to have that off the needles. So I know I told you, I guess 2 weeks ago, my last episode, I had mentioned that I was probably going to cast on I think it was the No Frills cardigan by PetiteKnit. And after speaking with my daughter, she was the one who wanted it. She wanted a fuzzy white cardigan that she could wear with dresses, for more fancy things. And after talking with her, I reminded her how long it takes to knit a sweater, and I'm pretty sure she thought that she would be able to wear it for Christmas, and there's no way I'd be able to get it done by Christmas. So she changed her mind and does not want that sweater anymore. So I took her out of the order of sweaters. I said, okay, we're moving on to the next kid. I'm making a sweater for the next kid. And so what I did is I was actually going through my little boy's sweaters. He's 3, and he's outgrown all of his sweaters that I've knit him. And I usually knit him a sweater every year. So of course, being 3 years old, he's going to just grow all the time. So I actually cast on another PetiteKnit pattern. This is the Hanstholm, I think that's how you pronounce it, Hanstholm Sweater Junior by PetiteKnit. And I had this yarn dyed for the same daughter who wanted the white sweater. She had actually wanted this color, which is my color, Nutmeg. And I think it's so pretty. It's this like rich nutmeg brown. And she had changed her mind and decided she didn't want this color. I'm kind of noticing a theme here with this child's sweaters. But it is such an interesting construction. So the neckline here is basically it's a 1x1 rib. It's knit on very small needles using a DK weight yarn, and then folded and knit together, and then the sweater is a raglan style sweater knit in the round. But I just thought this neckline was really, really interesting. It's very cushy and very just kind of squishy. So it's really, really nice. So far, I'm almost to the point, I have maybe 8 more rounds to go or so until I can split for the sleeves. But so far, this is just turning out really cute. I think I'm knitting the 3rd size on this, which I think will fit him. I think it's maybe a size 3 to a 4 or so. I'm actually making no modifications to this pattern at all. I had originally knit the neckline using a step down needle from what the pattern recommends. I think the pattern recommends a 2.5 millimeter needle, and I maybe used a 2.25 millimeter or something like that. Because I am a loose knitter, I always step down. And then I realized it was way too small for his head. So I did all this work on the neckline one night, and in the morning tried it over his head. I couldn't even fit it over his head. So this will fit over his head at this point. I ripped it all out and used a 2.5 millimeter needle, and it's great. So I ended up using for the body a US size 6, which is a 4 millimeter. And I believe that is the called for needle in the pattern as well. I've found that with my DK weight base, it works great with a US 6. And I think most people would probably meet gauge at a US 7. But I'm pretty sure that a US 6 is what is called for in the pattern, and it's turning out great. So hopefully this will fit him. But I think it'll be fine. Like, the neckline is going to be great, and I do like on this neckline that it comes up a little bit higher. A lot of times when you're doing like a top-down, you know, raglan sweater or even a yoked sweater, it just, the neckline seems to be quite large. But this will be nice, and it's a merino wool yarn, so it's going to be really soft against his neck and warm. And so instead of having like a wider neckline, it'll keep everything cool, warm up to his neck. So I think that it's coming along great. And I was also really excited because I was able to use my new Cocoa Knits stitch markers. So as you can see, I am doing the red markers. I'm using those for just the raglan increases to keep track of those. And then I use this green one for the center back, keeping track of that. And I have this really cute little star stitch marker on here. It's just cute. I think I had this in a kit back in the day. I don't even remember right now. So I had it in my stash, and I've already had several requests. I have a couple of different children who want this star progress keeper. They're so funny. So the star progress keeper is staying with me for the time being because I really like it. So this is the Hanstholm sweater, I think is how it's pronounced. And so far it's turning out really great. It really is just moving along great. And with this cold weather though, I really feel like I need to hurry up and knit it. I always feel an urgency to knit. So it'll get there. It's been a really enjoyable knit so far though. And I don't know if I mentioned this. This is this color I'm using is called Nutmeg, and it's a color that I carry in the shop seasonally. I can do a dyed to order with it in my sweater quantity listing, which I'll link below, but normally the end of summer I will start stocking that in the shop, and then I don't carry it in the spring and summer because it's not a spring and summer color. But this is one of my project bags that I'm carrying it in, and so yeah, it's really fun. My next project that I've been working on is one that I've shown you before, but I've made some more progress on it, so I thought I would show you. This is a sock tube or sock snake that I've been knitting on from KirbyWirby. I think it was the 2020 advent. Nope, I think it was, yes, it was 2020. I do have the 2019 advent skein caked up. I just haven't knit it yet, so there you go. But I have so much yarn I've caked up, and I had such high hopes to work on it for Christmas, and my time has been so limited. It's it just kind of is what it is. We've been doing house things, and I just have not found the time to work on my sock machine, so that's kind of been disappointing. But I'm using all the accents. This is Coral Conch. It is one of my favorite colors. It really is. I love it so much. But here I've actually finished mostly these socks. So I have added the cuffs and the toes on these socks, and I'm not sure who these are going to yet. So can you just see those stripes? Oh my goodness. Those are just, they're so pretty. There are 21 stripes in these, and each stripe is about, I'm gonna say it's about 4 to 5 rounds per stripe on these. I'd say the vast majority of the ones I'm seeing are 5 rounds. I knit these on my Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster, which is it's a sock machine, and I think I used the 60 slot cylinder. That's the one I use all the time. I feel like it's a really versatile size. And so I knit a really, really long tube, and then I've just been kind of portioning them off into socks. And so I did knit a kid-size sock before with part of the skein, and then I've got these that are so matchy, and I love them. I mean, I don't want to keep them for myself. I want to gift them because they're so beautiful, but I kind of do want to keep them for myself. So I have a little snowflake progress keeper on here, and I had these in a kit that I had in the shop. I think I might have maybe a large size project bag that has one of these in the shop right now. But it's so pretty. I really love it. So all I need to do is cut in the heel. I'll do an Afterthought heel, and depending on who these go to, maybe I'll save them for myself. I'm not sure yet. But I just wanted to give you an update on that. And then I have just a little bit left. I only have that much left, and that will make another pair of socks. So that will be it for those, and I've really enjoyed them. They're so bright and they're so happy, and yeah, I've really been enjoying this project. It's been the perfect portable project, so I've really enjoyed that. I feel like I have so much to share with you today, even though it's only been it's been 2 weeks since I last recorded, but I feel like I'm just casting on new things and finishing things, and I haven't had like a long-term project. This is definitely a long-term project. I don't know, some of you may recognize this, but this is a granny square blanket that oh gosh, I started this last September maybe, and so this has been going on for over a year. However, I have not been working on this consistently. I did a ton of knitting on this, or crocheting on this, last year. I mean, I kind of got obsessed with it. I don't want to say obsessed. I wasn't obsessed with it, but it just filled a need that I needed, that my brain needed. And I've enjoyed this so much. So as the weather has been changing to cooler weather, I thought I would pull it out because I really want to use it. And I love working on it when it's cold because it's covering up with a blanket. It's so great. I'm using a size I hook, which is a 5.5mm, and I think these are just a Clover brand hook. I've had these forever, like I've probably had these hooks for the past 13, 14 years. I've had these for a long time. But here's where I'm at so far. So it is this long right now, and I don't want to drop my yarn, but here we go. that's where I'm at right now. So it's probably, I want to say 5.5 feet across at this point. And it's a square, so it's going to be most likely 5.5 feet square right now. But this is what it looks like. And I love this so much. I really, really love this. So the middle is from leftovers from my Slipstravaganza pattern that I did last year. And what I've been doing is holding fingering weight yarn double. So all of this is fingering weight yarn held double, and I just marled it together. So like a light color and a dark color together, just to get a really nice kind of stripy pattern. And then I just pulled out a ton of leftover yarn, DK weight yarn, as well as fingering weight yarn. And what I've been doing is trying to do one round of DK weight and then one round of fingering weight held double, kind of marled with another color. So I haven't done a ton of color management with this. Basically what I've tried to do is I try not to put, like, for example, you know, 2 brown stripes together or 2 yellow stripes together. And I've tried to, you know, separate colors, kind of spread them around. But other than that, I haven't been super choosy with colors. The other thing, I should mention this, the other thing that I did is I pulled all of my warm colored skeins from my leftover yarn. So this is all warm colors and no cool colors, no blues or purples or anything. So all really warm colors. I just think it's so beautiful. I love this blanket so much. And like last year when, I don't want to use the word obsessed, but last year when I got really into crocheting this is kind of how I've been when I picked this up. This is all I want to work on. I don't want to work on anything else. I only want to crochet granny squares. This is all I want to do. So I picked this up about a week ago, and you can see this cute, oh, I love this progress keeper. It's a game piece, which I just think is so cool. I don't know if you can see that. It's white, so it's kind of hard to see. And I received that when I purchased one of the Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club boxes. So it's so cute. But that's where I started, and I've done that much in about a week, as well as working on other projects. So, you know, it's moving along. It's huge right now and heavy. It's really heavy. So I don't know where I'm going to stop at this point. It's a fairly large blanket, so that's it, you know, all folded up. I love it, and I should show you how much yarn I have left. So this is the yarn I have left, which kind of looks like a lot, but it's really not, especially because the rounds on this yarn are so long now. So here's a random hand spun skein. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why it's in there, but I'm using all superwash merino yarn. Some of it's merino and nylon, so it's all kind of washable and easy care. But that's all I have left. So at this point, I think what I'm going to do is just use up all these scraps and see how far I get, and then move on to another project. But anyway, it's been so fun, and I do think after this blanket's done, I am going to start another granny square blanket, because either a granny square blanket or a granny stripe blanket, for some reason that it just fills something that I need. But yeah, really enjoyed that. So that is the progress on the blanket. And I probably won't show it again until I have some more progress, or maybe even until it's finished, just because the rounds are so long at this point that you probably won't be able to see a lot of progress. The last thing I want to share with you is a weaving project I've had on my loom forever. And I always say at the beginning of my episodes, all the crafts that I do, and I have not done any spinning or weaving in quite a while for various reasons, not for lack of enjoyment or interest, but I frankly just don't have the time, and I don't have a lot of space. So with small children, I have a problem with the spinning aspect, just because it's another machine that they want to play with and do things with. So it's always put away and kind of out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. I think that that's at work there. But then also with weaving, my loom has been broken. So the front beam on my loom cracked, and I kind of hobbled it together and just kind of trying to get this project done. And it took a lot of joy out of this project, to be honest. I've had to be very careful with the loom, and it's been tedious. But the other night I just said, I am going to finish this so I can try and repair the loom and figure out where to go from there. So this is a table runner that I warped up quite a bit a long time ago, and I used 2 commercial yarns. I shouldn't even say commercial yarns, they're hand-dyed yarns. I'll link everything below because, to be honest, I didn't review my notes and I don't know all the details. I can't remember them. So I'm going to link all that below in the description. But I did a double warp. So basically I took a fingering weight yarn and pulled the yarn. I did direct warping, and I pulled the yarn in each eye and each slot of the heddle. And so it makes it thicker, and this warp was so beautiful. If I have some photos, I'll throw them up here. But oh gosh, it's so pretty. So you can see the ends. Color of this warp was just beautiful. I mean, oh, so pretty. And these are 2 yarns that I've had in my stash for a really long time, and they're just so beautiful. I wanted to use them together for a project, so I thought it would be really pretty for a seasonal table runner. I have a really large dining room table that I like to make table runners for. So last year it was earlier this year, I knit a table runner from my 2020 Hedgehog Fibers advent calendar, and I knit a beautiful table runner from that. And then I used a whole bunch of hand spun. Well, I guess it wasn't a whole bunch, it was 2 skeins of hand spun that I used in this table runner. So what I did is I just kind of alternated skeins. So you can tell this is a darker one, and then this is a lighter one. And this table runner is massive. I think it ended up being, oh my goodness, I don't even know how many feet long this is. But it's just, oh, this was so fun to weave until my loom broke. It was just all the color shifting, and I spun these yarns in a barber pole style. So let me give you a close-up. You can see how pretty they are. Oh, I just love this so much. It's just so beautiful. So I haven't blocked this or anything. I'm going to do block this with a really warm bath. I think I will do some twisted fringe. I did do a hem stitch on both ends, but I think I will do, I don't know, I might leave it a plain fringe, maybe do a twisted fringe. I'm not really sure yet. So I just want to give you an update on this table runner, and what I plan on doing is I have a white tablecloth that I'm going to put on my table and then use this so it's very vibrant. The table itself is kind of a darker toned wood, so I want to make sure that you can really see this. And so I have a really pretty white tablecloth, and I'm going to put this on it, and I just think it's going to be so pretty for Christmas and just through like January, February, it's going to just be super vibrant, and oh, I love this. I just think this is so pretty. So I will definitely post pictures here and show you what it all looks like at the end. This is going to be beautiful once it's all blocked, but I'm glad that it's finished now so I can look at my loom and just try and figure out where to go forward. I cracked it, and I'm not really sure why. I am very conscientious of not over tightening, and I've gone into all this in earlier episodes, so I don't want to rehash, but I've been thinking about getting a new loom anyway, because what I really want to do is weave dish towels, and so I've been playing with the idea of getting like a baby wolf loom, kind of a floor loom, instead of a rigid heddle. But I just don't know if it's the right time of my life because I can't even pull a spinning wheel out with having little hands all over it. So I might just have to wait a couple of years until I get it. Plus it's an expensive tool, so I would have to just want to make a really good purchase. So we'll see what happens. I am going to have to take a little break from weaving until I figure out what is going on with my loom. Hopefully I can figure out a solution to it. But this is done, and I really enjoyed it, so I will take pictures when I put it on my table. That is all that's going on right now. I am going to upload this to the computer and edit it, and then I'm going to actually start packing up clubs. So I really have to work hard to get those all packed up and get those all ready. They're so beautiful this month. They're so festive. So thank you to all of you who ordered clubs this month, and I hope you really love them. So in the shop right now, my December clubs are closed, but I do have my January club pre-orders up. So January 2022, I can't even believe it. It's so crazy how time flies, but this month is so beautiful and fresh, and I think you'll really enjoy them. So if you are in the market for a surprise yarn or one based on a mood board, definitely go check those out. Other than that, I'm going to get ready for a shop update. I will be having a shop update the last day of December on the 31st at 8 p.m. So I will give you more info as that day gets closer. I just didn't want to have a shop update on Christmas Eve. I wanted to give myself a little extra time, so I had time for the family and time to do all the things, and I hate rushing, and I just want to make sure to get everything done. So that way I can get a little extra yarn into the update too and give you all a good amount of yarn going into the shop. But I've talked long enough. I need to get going and get to work, get this edited. So I hope your December is going so great. I hope all of your advents, all of your projects are so fun and you're enjoying everything. But if you purchase one of my advent calendars this year, I would love if you would tag me on Instagram so I can see what you've been working on. I love it so much, and I hope they are bringing you a ton of joy. I'll see you next week with another episode. Until then, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.